won at Auto Club to this point in the season. So,
well, yeah, new guy coming in, and he gets a good qualifying position here. Who knows? He might be, I guess, in a way, a late bloomer, kind of in a sense. I don't know if that's the right term, but
dark horse, perhaps.
You kind of know what I mean. You know what I mean.
And it looks like we are getting here just in time to
90.
Bring it to just about the green
to
flag
80.
anyway. They're coming through turn 3.
75,
Not sure if this is the first or
70.
second pace lap.
That's the term I'm looking for, like a surprising dark horse. That's
Yes.
what I was looking for.
No, I knew what you were
that
saying.
Yes. I was trying to figure that out.
And it looks like we're on to pace lap number 2 here. Again, it's going to be Darcy Ford leading them around. Nickens there in second. And we had Mercado there in third. So you see him on the inside. Corbin McCauley starting 4th. Bailey Burr rounds out the top 5. And then we'll give you a super quick top 10 because really that's all we're going to have time for. Chase Beatty starting in 6th. And row 4 will feature the 85 of Kevin Daigle and the 97 of Ty Higginbotham. And rounding out the top 10, series leader Leo Jameson in the 94, which is going to feature an Independence Day themed paint scheme tonight, so watch out for that. And
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. I just had to try that for once.
Hey, go for it.
I had to try it for once.
A1, my friend, as we get along here. And looks like Ford's gotten a good start off the line. Nickens maybe running a little bit of that high line very early on.
The Larson line.
And it should be noted here, stage lengths tonight are 34 laps in this opening stage, 32 in the middle stage. And that's going to bring us to a 68-lap final stage. That's all under green flag conditions. Fuel, we're forecasting around 40 laps. So realistically, we're probably looking at stops at the end of each of the first 2 stages with just the 1 green flag stop in stage 3. As we focus in on Mike Nickens here, looks like he's gotten good use of that line. It looks like the majority of the field's running that high line. 30 to go, we're being told. And as Nickens tries to catch up to Ford, he's got Mercado coming up right behind him, so let's go to him. And we'll actually take it back from Jose Mercado's angle just to see what kind of a gap they're looking at. Not a whole lot, well, no movement in the top 3 here in the opening 4 or 5 laps. Bearing in mind, of course, that the 2 pace laps that you saw, they did count as competition laps. So effectively 32 racing laps in this opening stage. Just kind of a little quirk of this particular game for those who might not be aware of it as we check in on Corbin McCauley. Started 4th, still 4th. As he takes a run down the inside, trying to get onto the back of Mercado through turns 1 and 2.
He's trying to bump him up the track there. Oh, and a big run there by Ty Higginbotham on the outside there, trying to use the high line just like Nickens as well. Nickens is trying to catch up to Darcy Ford in some form, but so far it just hasn't been able to work. But he's staying consistent up there. He's been able to keep his position over Mercado, and yeah, it's like close but not close enough sort of
Indeed
situation.
So. And it looks like Higginbotham's a big winner here so far. Started 8th and has worked his way up to 5th early on. And the guy who started 5th, we're going to check in on him now. That's the 57 of Bailey Burr. And it looks like he's still hanging around there. That's P6 for the number 57 out of Chesterfield, South Carolina. And it looks like he's hanging on to that kind of lead inside line. And then just coming up the inside, up to that high line that you were referring to earlier. As you say, lots of different ways to run this particular corn maze here tonight.
Well, that's the thing. It's the mixture of multiple grooves and also tire wear as well, because if you take the inside line, like let's say in a consistent number of laps in a row, like in a sequence like that, if you keep going way too fast down the inside line, that is going to wear your tires the heck out. So if you try to use the high line, you may need to let off instead. So that's what really makes this track very, very compelling.
And again, a little bit of a different configuration for the Cup cars that our drivers are competing in tonight as we get a look at our Daytona winner, Chase Beatty. He started 6th tonight. It looks like he's running in 8th place at the moment, just tucked in behind Leo Jameson in that number 94 red, white, and blue. Again, we talked about some of the 4th of July themed cars that we're expecting. That's certainly one of them. As we head back in through turn 1, AJ Knickel looked like he's getting some good use out of that high line, running in 9th, just behind that main battle. And Knickel had qualified outside the top 10, so it looks like the 47's gotten off to a good start as well, running almost exclusively the high line, it would appear. As we will check in now on the number 85 of Kevin Daigle, running for the Sim League Pro Racing team here. Looks like he's clocking in around 10th place, started in 7th. Getting a little bit of a bump there, or a, not bump draft, I guess, but certainly a little bit of a push from the 87 of Travis Tyson. And Tyson, another one of those guys sporting a 4th of July themed paint scheme here tonight in the 87 out of Kingsport, Tennessee. As now we'll continue along. We'll get back up toward the head of the field where we'll find Ty Higginbotham looking like he's getting that inside line. I thought he was going in for 4th place potentially on Nickens, who looks like he has fallen back a little bit. McCauley up to 2nd. Mercado still there in 3rd. 20 laps to go in this opening stage. But yeah, it looks like, again, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Higginbotham looking like kind of an early winner here in the opening part of this first stage. As we'll continue along here to our series leader, the number 94 of Leo Jameson out of Atlanta, Georgia. Winner a couple of weeks ago at Auto Club. Another track that you kind of alluded to, Regan, with multiple options, multiple ways to run it. So don't be surprised maybe if you see the 94 up there and in competition toward the very end here as well.
Well, yeah, you could say they are similar. You could say they are similar tracks in the sense of like the multi groups and tire wear, but obviously this track is way shorter. There's different track elevation, and we'll quickly change that right here. We got a lead battle going on. It's the other McCauley, the one racing, versus Darcy Ford for the lead here as Corbin goes down the inside, tries to clear Darcy, but nope, Darcy Ford's got the. Or maybe he has cleared. He has cleared him perfectly. Right on the inside. Darcy Ford falls back on the outside. Corbin has found some speed here, trying to. He looks like he stayed patient here for a couple laps. Maybe Darcy Ford used up his tires maybe a little bit too much. That could be a possibility. That's just speculation, but you never know. That could be one of the reasons here. It kind of looks obvious too in a sense if you think about it.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe content to conserve a little bit in the second half
that
of
as
this
well.
opening stage.
Yes.
Obviously, we're not looking at fuel conservation. Again, we're looking at more tire wear from that perspective. And again, we talk about the 17 moving up into the lead. Perhaps not a huge shock to see him at the top of the board. Did win Martinsville rather convincingly back in season 1. So that's, rather significant in terms of being a junkyard by times. So Martinsville, McCauley conquered that. Not a huge surprise to see him fighting toward the head of the field, though I thought Darcy Ford might have had a look there coming out of the turn.
Yeah, he and Darcy Ford were the two dominant drivers, at least in my opinion, whenever I watched the broadcast from last year. So not surprised to see him up here at the front. But Mercado, and I believe that was Higginbottom that was there. Yes, those two, they're sticking up with them. They've caught up as well. Yeah, it looked like, because early on, Darcy Ford it looked like he was just far and gone, but no, there's been speed that's been found. Like, it could just be a speed difference. Maybe that's why Darcy's suddenly falling back here. It's just it's early on. Drivers are still trying to figure out their own grooves and stuff, their own strategies, just finding where they find themselves perfect and comfortable.
All right, getting 15 to go. That's Mike Nickens up into the wall. He was running in 5th. And let's just see if we can get kind of a reverse perspective of who may have benefited from that. It looks like Nickens may have held on to the position based on that red hood. So we'll go back to our main camera here, and we'll go back to where we were in the line. So that brings us to the number 36 of Brandon Reed out of Fort Worth, Texas. And he's a guy who's currently outside the playoff picture, but a good result here, that could put him right back into the conversation. As it looks like he got a little bit loose there out of the turn.
It's a little congested in the back of the pack.
Well, I don't even know if that's the back of the pack. I think
or
that
just
might be
middle.
Yeah.
I call it back because we're kind of far away from the leaders. That's just my personal take there.
No, that's a fair point. And I'd say that's probably about middle of the pack there based on Knickel and Kime going through. Looks like Kevin Daigle's kind of running that high line a little bit. Meanwhile, Reed looking like, or I thought he was going to go door-to-door with Tyson there down the back straight.
Bob Drew III coming down on the inside, trying to make a bit of a diving move. He won't be able to get him.
Push from Daigle there as we're getting the word 10 to go. And Reed and Tyson continue to battle. And as that happens, we'll try and push a little bit further through the field where we find the 47 of AJ Knickel, a guy who's been remarkably consistent so far, top 3 in all 3 races so far. Just hasn't gotten to the top step on the NASCAR side just yet. Would not be a surprise to see him there before long.
Well, yeah, Leo Jamieson has been the... No, listen. Let me talk. Leo
Okay.
Jamieson... Yes, I mean Knickel second there, but yeah, Leo Jamieson in the 94 has been the most dominant, the top rookie this season. Like, in the rookie standings, he's, like, far ahead. But then there's AJ Knickel. Like, don't count him out because he's been consistent. Jamison's kind of the winning dominant, but then there's Knickel who's trying to do his results based off of consistency and trying to keep his car clean stuff. I mean, at most sport, though, that was kind of a different story at one point. He was getting bashed around. I believe it was because he didn't pit. I think that was the reason.
Yeah, from stages 1 to 2.
Yeah, that didn't really help him with his tire wear, so he fell back. But yeah, like he's behind Jamieson. It's AJ Knickel, who's the other, I guess not necessarily dominant rookie, but he's been very solid so far this season. And yeah, you had to let me talk there.
I did,
you had to let me talk there. I knew
Yeah.
what I was doing that time.
Okay, there you go. And you talk about guys who know what they're doing. Jonathan Peden, I don't think, felt too confident in what he was doing tonight at Iowa, but it looks like he's running fairly competitively here. He's got Chase Beatty there. Looks like he's getting down on the inside, potentially on the back straight. And that would be just outside the top 10, so maybe not an immediate contention, but again, I don't think you can count the 53 out anywhere, as we're going to try and backpedal to our lead battle here, which to our knowledge is still very much Corbin McCauley leading the pack. Coming to 4 laps remaining in the stage, so I think we may have timed this pretty well.
Yeah, Corbin seems to be pulling away, and he looks like he's comfortable to get the green checker flag for the first stage here. The second to fourth, though, are still going at it. You see Darcy Ford starting to fall back to possibly 4th place here. Bit surprising, but again, though, like you said earlier, he might be being conservative. Maybe it is a speed. Maybe it's just a speed difference between the drivers. Maybe it's tire wear. It could be anything.
It absolutely could, but for Corbin McCauley in about 3 laps time, it could be a stage win as he comes through turns 1 and 2. It looks like he's coming up on the back of Trent Nielsen here on the back straight in the 55 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. But again, I'm not sure if he'll be able to close that gap quite enough in that time, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's just kind of keep it clean over the next 2 laps plus. 2 laps now.
Higginbottom seems to be getting a good pace off the outside line. He did use the inside there, but I did notice he was trying the high line, especially in turns 3 and 4, and it does seem like he is catching up just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to catch the Corbin for the first stage victory.
And there's Nielsen dipping out of the way, as well as McCauley's going to see the white flag for this opening stage right about now, or whenever our corn cob. Yeah.
It is the last lap.
We missed the good old corn cob start-finish line, which I absolutely love, by the way, as McCauley makes his way down the back straight for the last time into turns 3 and 4. And I think just keeping it clean, staying patient. Looks like Corbin McCauley, that is job done. That is stage number 1, headed the way of the number 17 Red Dirt Racing Chevy. As we just go ahead and get the right overlay up. So McCauley takes the stage, Higginbotham second. I think Mercado does come out third. Darcy Ford finishes 4th. So really, Riggs, that top 4 kind of separated themselves from the rest of the pack.
Oh yes, those are the top. Those look to be the 4 drivers to keep an eye on for the win here. But again, though, there's still a whole lot of other cars that could easily benefit off of strategy, because some drivers could be being conservative with their tire wear, their strategies, with the grooves and stuff. And I'll also say, obviously, the sibling thing, it's just stage 1. If you want a reaction out of me, just wait until the actual checker flag.
You're reserving judgment. I like it.
I'm waiting on it. Yeah, obviously the points are valuable. They are definitely,
Yep.
but the victory would probably be the one thing to get a reaction out of me.
Yeah, it's not whose line is it anyway, but we'll go ahead and reserve judgment for about 30 seconds, just as well. No, the stage is starting on us pretty quick. We'll
Just
go
give
into
us a few
quick
laps here.
commercial, yeah. On in a little bit here as stage number 2 is officially underway. Things happening quickly here.
Ford in the middle of 3-1. No, he's going to get up high by the looks of it.
Yeah, not 100% sure. It looks like McCauley retains the lead. It looks like the majority of the field did pit at the end of the stage, which again, not 100% surprising given the 40-lap fuel load that we were kind of tipped off to.
There's a couple of cars getting a little bit scrambly, a little wiggly towards the back, but it doesn't look like anyone is going around. Everyone's keeping it straight.
Indeed so, as we'll try and bring it up to our race leader, Corbin McCauley, straight away. So it's McCauley in the lead, Mercado in second by the looks of things. Indeed so. Higginbotham third.
Oh, in the back they are getting very, very congested.
Yeah, just getting a little bit frisky here in Iowa through turns 1 and 2. Again, just 32 laps in this middle stage here. So they'll tick off pretty quickly as we take a look at Bailey Burr here now, running side by side with Darcy Ford for 1, which puts him in 5th place. So based on the couple of races that I saw him do last season, this is the best I've seen Burr over the course of his time in the series. Looks like he may have just dipped down to 6th, but still, great start so far for the number 57. As we'll move along now to the number 25 of Chase Beatty. He looks like he's part of that Chase pack, so to speak. Not even a whole lot of separation between that lead pack and the secondary pack, but
yeah, the top
chaos.
4. Yeah, the top 4 cars do seem to be getting kind of a distance, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. We still got a lot of laps left in this stage. It's a pretty big pack from 5th onward.
Indeed it is, as we'll give you a quick top 10 here from our opening stage. So as you
way
saw,
too early jinx, like you say.
we'll get to that as soon as I get the math added up, but we can give you the official results from the stage. So again, Corbin McCauley takes the win in the stage, as you saw. Ty Higginbotham finishes 2nd, Jose Mercado in 3rd, Darcy Ford in 4th, Leo Jamieson rounds out the top 5, so good run there from the series leader. Mike Nickens is 6th, so he grabs 5 points from that. Bailey Burr came in 7th. And for the guy with not much confidence, or not as much confidence anyway, going into this particular track, John Peden picks up another 3 points in 8th. 9th, AJ Knickel, we were talking about him a little bit earlier. Chase Beatty rounds out the top 10, so he grabs an additional point. As we take a look at this lead battle here, Higginbotham running in 3rd. And again, it looks like that same, well, a little bit of a difference. They're not the same 4, as it looks like Darcy Ford's dropped out of it. Leo Jamieson taking his place in that kind of lead pack right now. But again, they're all chasing the 17 of Corbin McCauley as it stands. As we'll go on to, well, we're going to stay with that battle actually, with Leo Jamieson running in 4th, with AJ Knickel looking like he's rounding out the top 5 on that high outside line. And again, the 94, we mentioned it a couple of times already, but very much in the one day after 4th of July spirit.
It's getting close. Here comes Mercado. Higginbotham he looked like to try and make the outside line worked in turns 1 and 2, and he had a pretty good run coming down the backstretch. Almost 3 wide. Mercado to the inside. Here's the battle for first place.
Yeah, Higginbotham trying to give Corbin McCauley a push, but Mercado on that inside line.
Jamieson also there. AJ Knickel is even coming there as well. Higginbotham looks like he may have deflected off the outside wall there. He falls back all the way to 5th.
Just a little bit of a touch off of that wall out of turn 2, it looks like, for the 97, but
Might have been trying too hard.
yeah, it looks like he got the speed right back, though. He's basically right on that back bumper of AJ Knickel as he goes for that inside line through turns 1 and 2.
Jamieson coming for 2nd place on the inside of Jose Mercado. And maybe 3 wide in the back there?
Yeah, it looks like Peden, Ford, and I think that was No, I was going to say Beatty in the middle, but I think it was Mike Nickens instead. As they come through to complete another lap, we're looking at about somewhere in the ballpark of about 20 laps remaining in the stage. Haven't heard anything from our Discord race control as of yet.
Jameson clears himself in second place right on the bumper of Corbin McCauley. To the inside, here he comes. McCauley is going to benefit with the Highline run.
And we were just told a moment ago, 19 to go. I think it's 18 as they cross the start-finish line. And again, it's Corbin McCauley maintaining the lead.
Ooh.
And yeah, getting a little
3 wide for second.
Getting a little spicy here in Iowa. And
Jameson backs off.
For now, anyway, I don't expect the 94 to wait too long here, as it looks like they've kind of gotten single file, which is, you know, a little bit rare.
We got 3 cars right in the high line.
I got to tell you, Riggs, this is some of this battling in terms of comparisons. It's right up there with sliced bread in terms of how good it is, and I just learned before the broadcast, Iowa is apparently where sliced bread became a thing. So that's
ironic.
I mean, it may have been a push just to get that particular line or fact in there, but
yeah,
it was a good one nonetheless.
If we don't get this in the third and final stage, I'm going to be quite surprised and maybe a bit disappointed too.
And not to butter up any of our fans anymore, but we'll continue along here as we check in with Brandon Reed in the 36. Started in 10th tonight, but it looks like he may have dropped down the field here just a little bit. 16 to go, we're being told, so that's effectively the halfway point of this middle stage. And again, we're just looking at pit stops in all likelihood at the end of the stage, so kind of straight run there. Reed with a little bit of a drift there, but he's able to hold on to effectively a middle groove there through turns 3 and 4 as he comes through to complete another lap. And we will continue on. Oh, we may have a battle on our hands here. AJ Knickel up into second, trying to get a run on Corbin McCauley for the lead, but don't look now. Down low there, I'm not sure if that was Nicken. No, that was Jameson, excuse me, in the, again, 4th of July paint scheme.
I find it unbelievable how they can just run the outside. Like in turns, especially in turns 3 and 4, they can ride the high line like right along the outside wall like crazy. Kind of reminds me of Homestead Miami in a sense, but maybe a little bit more of a crazy factor.
Yeah, a little bit. Sounds like we may have had something go on toward the back of the field. I think Jason Butler might have been involved based on what I was hearing.
And
meanwhile,
Knickel in the wall by the looks of it?
Yeah, it looked like maybe just a little bit too high of a run, and suddenly that pack turns into about 6 or 7. And it's 6 with Jonathan Peden joining the proceedings. Reggie Kime not too far behind there in 7th.
And Higginbottom to second place.
Indeed so. He was running there a little bit earlier. Might have an inside line on McCauley potentially as we check in on John Peden now at the back of this lead pack.
This is just for the stage finish, man.
This is going to be some awfully good racing, I would have to say. Again, Peden starting in, I believe, 12th tonight, but up into 6th right now, as we're closing in on 10 laps remaining, and we're doing it rather quickly here given, you know, the short nature of the short track lap.
And how many laps is the third stage? Remind me again.
68.
It's 68 laps?
Yeah,
wow.
So there will be one green flag pit stop.
Okay, that should definitely spice things up.
I mean, that'll be the expectation, right? Coming up on 10 to go. There's the confirmation. It actually is 10 to go.
3 wide for, I believe that was 4th place there, and then they immediately just scramble right into single spots.
It's something to behold, man.
We got 7 cars now.
We do. Might still
almost.
Be 6 there.
It might
Jason's
almost.
Still there.
There appears to be a 7th car that is starting to slowly catch up here. That looks to be Nicken.
No, that's Reggie Kime, the 77.
Oh, Reggie Kime.
There's a lot of red, white, and blue cars, so it's a little bit difficult to figure out by times. And we've got another one here, unless you want to call the red orange in this particular case for the 53. I'm sure he could go for that as a Gator guy. That being Jonathan Peden, who's now suddenly found himself in 4th. As we'll do a quick check-in on Tom Janikowski, but I think we'll go, and there's another, I would say, Independence Day or 4th of July themed scheme. And we'll try and go through a couple more before we go backwards toward our lead battle in the closing stages of the stage, for lack of a better term. 7 to go, we're being told, as we check in on the number 6 of Bob Drew III out of Miamisburg, Ohio. And he looked like he was trying to get a run there on Nickens, who was door-to-door with Jonathan War. And now Bob Drew III looking like he's got a pretty good line. On the inside, Reed, I think it might be ducking into pit lane. So, looks like he may have gotten a little bit of damage, as does the number 6 Ford. But again, Reed dropping out early, as we'll go backwards now to our lead battle. So, yeah, we're here. Corbin McCauley looks like he's still in control, but Ty Higginbotham might have something to say about that, especially with the lap traffic they're coming up on. Nielsen gets out of the way, 5 to go. Corbin McCauley maintaining the lead, getting a push on the outside from AJ Knickel.
Oh, we got double pack. We got a pack here for all the top 4 cars here.
Yeah, that's two Tornado Alley guys on the bottom, it has to be noted, in the form of Higginbotham and Peden. But
they're still double file.
And that's 4 laps to go now.
Ooh. Dear God. This isn't a super speedway.
No, but it's super entertaining, as it looks like Higginbotham might have the nose out in front of McCauley, or I thought he did anyway. He'll have the inside line into 3, though. And it looks like we're going to have ourselves potentially a lead change here, although McCauley's still maintaining the high line. 3 to go. Knickel might try something on the inside, trying to get on the back of Higginbotham.
Corbin's still trying to get the run on the outside. Higginbotham's going to clear. No, to the inside. He's going to dive. He's going to make the lane change.
The old switcheroo, as I believe it's Super GT calls it in the Gran Turismo side of things. But it looks like Higginbotham may have countered right back.
Yeah, he got the run. Corbin dove it way down into the inside line, so.
2 remaining here in this second stage. Ty Higginbotham, your race leader. And McCauley running second, Knickel third, and I think that's that's Peden there in 4th. As it'll be Ty Higginbotham seeing the white flag. Let's see if we can get to him real quick here. There we go. We're watching it from the 97's perspective now. Good run off the inside out of 2. Opened up a little bit of space going into that back straightaway. Is that going to be enough?
Corbin tried the inside, but Higginbotham stuck it to the inside as well. He knew a dive was possible, and Ty Higginbotham is going to score the second stage victory, as it looks like Corbin's going through the grass for whatever reason.
I have a funny feeling he may be hearing about that a little bit later, maybe off broadcast. But certainly Ty Higginbotham, he's done his damage here in stage 2, picking up the stage win. And given, I'm not sure if it was a little bit too wild of a run out of 4 for Corbin McCauley. Not sure if he held on to second at the end of the stage. We do know that John Peden and AJ Knickel were right there in that top 4. And we'll give you the official top 4. McCauley falls to 3rd, Knickel up to 2nd in the stage. And so now we're going to go ahead and take that commercial break we mentioned. So we'll take a little breath, and we'll be back for stage 3 in about 30 seconds time. All right, folks, we bring it on back for the 3rd and final stage here of tonight's Fix Auto Charlottetown 100. Some immediate contact there. And it looked like a few cars kind of got jammed up in that.
Yeah, there was a squeeze for 3 wide. I think it was in 3rd or 4th round there. As there's one car around into the inside wall on the backstretch there. It looked like it was a black car by the looks of it.
And 3rd stage here in Iowa, the land of the corn. I think the water may have just gotten a little bit hotter for some of these drivers as we continue our way through the field. Back to the 18 of Mike Nickens here. He started in second, but it looks like he's fallen down a little bit here. I'd say he's running about 13th by the looks of things.
Yeah, there goes a car to pit road right there.
And
I think that might be the 21. That might be the 21, Matthew Patek.
I think that is a correct observation there. The 21 of Matt Patak. Haven't really talked a whole lot about him over the course of the evening. Couldn't go at Canadian Tire last week, and certainly not the way he would have hoped the third stage would start, as we'll go up to Jose Mercado in the 41. He's running in third. Looks like it's a battle here between Knickel and Higginbotham. Knickel almost out of the screen with the high line that he was running. And yeah, it's Knickel and Higginbotham battling for the lead. Mercado third, Macaulay fourth. And again, it's a pack of four kind of separating themselves, although Darcy Ford's looking to do something about that. Jonathan War also looking to do something about that on that low line. Just saw him kind of duck there off the start finish. And there's Patak looking to rejoin. And indeed it was the 21, so good eye on that, Regan. As we will push forward here. Well, we'll stay with this battle just from a different perspective, that being the 17 of Corbin Macaulay, now in third, but potentially in a battle here with Mercado. Darcy Ford, again, looking to get into that mix. Tonight's pole sitter rounding out the top five at the moment. But right now, it looks like it's just, well, I was going to say a two-horse race, but then again, you see 3 through 5 really kind of swallowing up that gap through the turns. And again, it might be just the nature of the track, but things have been absolutely electric here, really through the first two stages. And as you say, you'd almost not want it any other way, certainly, for the overall finish.
Well, the thing is, too, at this third stage, like it's just under 70 laps. We're gonna have a green flag pit. We're gonna have green flag pit stops at some point. The biggest question with that, though, is because the only cautions that we get are for the stage breaks, like the stage endings. Is that gonna break everyone up? Is that gonna cause the packed racing to just lower down, or is everyone gonna be able to catch back up and be able to get a good battle like we saw at the end of the second stage? Or basically through the entire second stage. I think that's a better way to put it, because we basically had great racing through the whole damn thing.
Absolutely we have, and a guy who's been a part of that here a little bit, at times anyway, this evening has been the 57 of Bailey Burr, who we see right now, I think running at about 7th or 8th by the looks of things. And just trying to get a picture on him here, Ford and Mercado there. So yeah, that's 8th place for Bailey Burr, as we get word of Darcy Ford tagging the wall there. That's why he's fallen off the pace a little bit. And indeed, you see he has dropped down to 6th. And so we'll continue along now to the 25 of Chase Beatty, looking to tuck in behind Nickens. But Jonathan War had other ideas, getting a little push from Mike Marini off the back as well. But again, Beatty in that number 25 Eclipse, he could be on for relatively decent finish here. Of course, he's already got his playoff spot locked up, but positioning is never a bad thing.
Well, yeah, just because you have a win, just because you have a guaranteed playoff spot doesn't mean you don't have to go for it anymore. You could still go for it, get some valuable points, and it looks like a car right there. So that looks like it's Leo Jameson falling back there after some contact with a car a couple spots up.
Yeah, I think they got 3 wide through turns 1 and 2, and I think they might be going for it again. Come on, make it 4 wide for July 4th. We're begging here. As we'll continue along now to Kevin Daigle. He started in 7th, and we're getting word of some battling for some of our top positions. So this is a battle for 5th or 4th.
I
think it was for 5th place. Or no, it was 4th and 5th. We just had to interpret that. Again, we're not great with math here in the Canadian eMotorsports Network studios.
So yeah, that looks to be Knickel and Macaulay fighting for first place then, I believe.
Yeah, Ty Higginbotham's very much in that trio as well.
Yes.
Yeah, there you see them, 97, 17, and 47. Might be a lucky 7 night here by the looks of things. But 64 in 4th, you know, he'd love to have something to say about that. Not quite Forrest Gump style, but certainly he'd love to say it maybe a little bit stronger. As Mercado, I wonder if these two might potentially work together to try and push up to that lead trio. Certainly a possibility. And I mean, when you've only got 7/8 of a mile to work with, you kind of go with who you're with.
Exactly. Thing is, though, I would say my biggest question with that, though, is it truly necessary just yet? Because we still got that pit window coming up. Although at the same time, if you do think about it, the more that you're closer with those lead cars in that pack together, if you choose to pit with one of those certain drivers, you could come out and be at the top right with them and be able to battle with them to the checkered flag.
You absolutely could, as we'll try and bring it back to... This is our lead battle here now. So it's AJ Knickel in the lead in the 47. Corbin McCauley, who we're riding with now, is second. Ty Higginbotham there in third. Ford and Mercado trying to make it a 5-horse race here. But again, it's looking like, for the moment anyway, Knickel has the lead, but McCauley dives in on the inside.
Could that be two rookie wins in 4 races, possibly?
Oh, contact there between Knickel and McCauley.
Just as I say that, Corbin McCauley going for it.
Indeed so. And he may have actually come out with the better run here.
Don't deny the outside line. That lane is fast off the corners.
Just a matter of who Ty Higginbotham gives the push to here, I think. In a way.
Oh, Knickel might have tagged the wall. Higginbotham's going to clear for second place.
48 laps to go, so we're a little less than 10 laps away from the opening of that kind of pit window for that one green flag stop. So, again, without the benefit of really knowing how much time's going to be lost in pit lane, be interesting to see if the strategy is to kind of split it down the middle, go short, or stay long.
Well, yeah, the thing is, will one of these cars end up coming out and prevailing as the top car? Will it be multiple of them? Could it be someone that we haven't seen all race just come out of nowhere and suddenly be able to come home and take the checker flag? Like, anything's possible here with the racing we saw in the second stage, plus this decent racing that we are also getting here in this third and final stage. Indeed, anything's possible. Like the heart rate levels are through the roof.
And if we're there now, think about where we're going to be at about half an hour's time, if that.
Exactly.
As again,
some
we
battling.
Check in, well, you want to say some battling. I think they may have been 4 wide on the back straight behind Bailey Burr here. So they are, 3 wide at minimum. But I think Marini may have tucked in behind another driver there just to make it a little more civilized coming through turns 3 and 4. And Chase Beatty is very much part of that battle.
Yeah, Bob, make it 4 wide. We need the July 4th thing, man.
Well,
you were saying that earlier.
Just about
did.
They just about did.
They separated.
Certainly very much congested there, those 4. But makes for really entertaining racing, I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Kevin Daigle might have had a disconnection there. I'm not seeing the 85.
Thought I heard something.
That might be...
Am I hearing a car around, or is that a disconnection? Or
well, I didn't see the 85 come through that shot, so that to me would suggest that it was probably...
Might have disconnected. Car might have just went straight into the wall just because game.
May well have as well.
That would be super unfortunate.
Meanwhile, speaking of game, Ty Higginbotham looking like a gamer here tonight as Corbin McCauley has taken the lead. Higginbotham right behind him, though, in second. We heard a little bit earlier AJ Knickel tagging the wall through the start-finish straight, and we saw it happen, actually. But he's recovered his speed, and he's third. Darcy Ford right behind him in fourth.
Still remaining up there. A little wall tapped it. He didn't let that do anything to his car. It doesn't look like it did anything physically, so he's still up there. He's still being consistent, like you've said he's been. That's what his races, his results have been like this season.
As it looks like Higginbotham's trying for the move, trying to regain the lead into turn 1. And for the moment, it looks like he's got it. But again, we've talked about it how many times now. Don't discount those other lines in terms of speed.
And it looks like the inside prevailed this time. surprising.
Indeed it did. Maybe the track changing a little bit, maybe coming to those tires on the inside.
Well, that's
line.
the thing. It could be tire wear. It could be the fact that, I mean, I don't know if this actually applies to the game in a sense, but like it's nighttime, so grip is going to be obviously more noticeable. There's going to be a lot more grip in comparison to the daytime, where whenever there's a race with the sun completely out, there's a complete loss of grip. It's like loose as anything out there.
And we certainly expect things to tighten up over the course of the evening, as it looks like our leaders are coming up on lap traffic here. I think that's Travis Tyson ahead, Keith Miller perhaps there as well in the 44. And again, with the benefit of a slightly longer stage, we'll try and get around to more of the drivers here. I know we've only gotten to about half the field to this point, I would say, as we check in on Leo Jamieson, who was battling toward the head of the field earlier, but looks like he may have just fallen off the pace just a touch. Looks like Burr's right ahead. So that would put him just kind of on the fringes of the top 10 if memory serves. As we'll continue on, there's Brandon Reed, who had started in 10th, but again, it doesn't look like the race has gone in favor of the number 36 over the course of the evening, as it looks like he's getting a little push from Janikowski, maybe even getting a bit, I was going to say loose on that high line, but thought Janikowski might have benefited, but right now Reed keeps the position. As we'll continue, this will actually bring us back to our lead battle here, or at least close to it. AJ Knickel looks like he's tucked in behind Darcy Ford now, so that puts him in third. 36 to go, we're being told, so we're well within the pit window now. So, decisions, Regan.
Oh yes, like how different each strategy is going to be. Like that is going to determine what happens as we get to the checker flag, as we got one of the leaders coming in here.
That is AJ Knickel. He's going to be first to come in. So we're going to see just how well the undercut works out as we go on track with Jonathan Peden.
All I'm going to say is don't get that penalty, because especially at this track, a penalty, no matter if you are speeding through an entrance or speeding off the exit, like that could seriously hurt you, especially considering we are on such a short track here. Short tracks, getting a pit road penalty on a short track is not good, especially considering there are going to be no more cautions for the remainder of the race.
Yeah, really, a speeding penalty in the pit lane, that's almost effectively another lap down. With
exactly. Like it could be 2 laps down, even 3, it depends.
Either way, not ideal if that was to be the case, as we check in on, again, Tom Janikowski out of Appleton, Wisconsin. He had been battling with Brandon Reed a little bit earlier, but not sure if Reed pitted right away or what happened. But either way, we know the 93 is kind of flying his own flag, so to speak, as he comes through to begin another lap. And as he does that, we see a cavalcade of cars coming out, led by Bob Drew III, just coming out of pit lane. So it looks like a lot of cars just kind of splitting the stage in half.
Exactly, yes.
That's because it was 34 to go when AJ Knickel came in, as we check in on.
Damage on the hood for Travis Tyson, and there comes the 44 of Keith Miller in right behind him, another rookie.
Yeah, it looks like we're coming into that pit window. Darcy Ford in pit lane there just ahead of them. So again, we're going to get a sense of just how well, again, some of those earlier pit stops are going to work out. It's only a lap or 2 in the difference, but if you can get a whale of an outlap, there's positions to be had. As we watch Reggie Kime here now. Again, sort of, well, looks like Kime's headed into pit lane now as well, so we're very much, again, within that one green flag pit window. We just saw Dan Cudmore come out of pit lane. And again, Cudmore, the lone driver running an actual licensed NASCAR pit scheme, or paint scheme, excuse me. As sounds like McCauley's headed into pit lane. Do we have contact there going into pit lane? That's Jamieson and Burr together. Not sure if that's a game glitch or just driving. As we go to Trent Nielsen now. And we're going to have to take probably a couple of laps to sort out a new running order. Ty Higginbotham stayed out a little bit longer as we check in on Jonathan War now. So Higginbotham heading into pit lane now. We just got that confirmation from the man himself. And Marcus Wright, I'm going to suspect that's a disconnection for the Niles, Michigan native. No movement there in pit lane. And so we'll check in on the stricken number 21 Ford of Matthew Paytak out of Vandalia, Ohio. And again, we saw him kind of get caught up in that early stage 3 incident. He's been in pit lane twice in this stage. So again, certainly not going the way of the 21. As Ford, it looked like may have, I'm not sure if that was a glitch or what it was there, but we saw the 64 briefly go sideways in behind. And who was that coming out? Was that damage to the front of Corbin McCauley? 17 out of the pits. I think that is him. So we're getting close to the head of the fields. Here we just saw Jason Butler, and now we're with Mike Marini in the number 12 Toyota. And Marini unable to pull off the hat trick last week at Canadian Tire, but still a respectable 7th place finish there. And still, again, a guy very much in the playoff picture is the number 12. Obviously, nearly 4 races in, still kind of early. But looking like he's got a good battle going on here with Bob Drew III. As we'll continue along. And so getting word from Corbin McCauley. Looks like it has damage, but he doesn't. Okay, so we just got word from race control. Our top 5 out of that pit window. AJ Knickel is your race leader. Ty Higginbotham second. Darcy Ford in third. And yeah, so we talked about it off the hop. I think that undercut may have served AJ Knickel very well. Looks like he got an absolute burner off out of pit lane.
Well, yes, he chose to come in early, just get it done and over with, and then pass literally everyone else that decided to come in later on. So that, again, there's still plenty of time, but like it could either be a case of someone is able to catch up to him, or maybe he just pulled off the win already. Well, no, never mind. They're pretty close. So yeah, I was saying there, like, they could still catch up. They still could catch up there. So,
and it's 23 laps to go, we're being told. And yeah, it's AJ Knickel who's still your leader. There he is in the blue. Ty Higginbotham second. Darcy Ford, who we're riding with now, tonight's pole sitters, third. Corbin McCauley in fourth. Jose Mercado rounds out the top 5 as it stands right now. So if that pack gets together, that's the pack that's been kind of consistently there for the majority of the evening.
It looks like Higginbotham's trying to go for the lead right there.
And let's see if we can get far enough ahead to actually get there. And there it is. Higginbotham taking that inside line. You wonder about it again with the fresher tires. Door to door almost. 22 to go.
Keep it like this until the end, please. Keep it like this.
Hey, I'm not going to complain.
No, keep it like this so that's... This sounds biased. We're like, slow them down enough for all the other cars. Let all the other cars catch up, then boom, we have an entire battle. We get a 4 or 5 car battle here. They still have time to catch up, though. There's still plenty of time. The thing is, those 2 cars battling together for that long, like, it's going to cause them to slow down. It's going to cause those other cars to catch up with that better speed there. In being just, single, just alone in a way.
Yeah, no, I get exactly what you're saying there, and certainly both Higginbotham and Knickel knew what they had to do early on in this race. Higginbotham started 8th, Knickel started 11th, so they made their moves early.
Yes.
They've been there the entire way.
Yes, it looks like Higginbotham's trying to put a distance here, but Knickel is trying to get some pace off the outside lane, which... It's worked for many drivers. It's also sometimes not even worked at all.
And I know earlier I referenced Corbin McCauley having won Season 1's Martinsville race. Season 2 went to this man, Ty Higginbotham, where he literally lapped the field. So he's to put it lightly, he'll do just fine on short tracks.
And can you remember who finished second and how far back it was?
Well, as I say, effectively, like, I think he was just about to lap second place, who I think was Darcy Ford.
It was Darcy Ford, okay.
I
Yeah.
think he was second. I'd have to remember.
There's a battle for third.
Yeah, so we've got that in the background here. Now we're with that battle, Corbin McCauley and Darcy Ford.
Yeah, McCauley just took over third place as we were trying to switch the cars right there. And yeah, we were saying it looked like Corbin had damage there, but we got a report that he physically doesn't. It's just a visit. It's just a. I'm forgetting what the
Cosmetic?
term is. Come on. I'm trying to think of it. Like deceiving to the eye, you know? Like
okay,
it's deceiving.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it seems to be working for him at this point. But speaking of working, it looks like Ty Higginbotham might be putting in a bit of work. It looks like he, as you mentioned earlier, might be separating himself from AJ Knickel here a little bit. Let's see if we can get kind of a background.
Oh, yeah, he's pulling
There's
away.
The distance.
He's pulling away.
And we're coming up probably on about 15 to go, if my math is right. I heard 20 laps at one point, but I think we're a few laps away from that now. And I'm sure we'll get the word from race control here half soon. But 14 to go. There we go. So, you know, timing isn't bad. Maybe the math isn't great, but the timing seems to be working out.
You said 15 at the end there, so close enough. And it looks like Brandon Reed is going to get lapped and come down, and he's going to come down to pit road. Might be a damage thing. It might be excessive tire wear. It's unfortunate.
And so it's 13 to go now for Ty Higginbotham out of Kansas City, Missouri. And there you see the Tornado Alley driver absolutely leaving the field in the dust here after this final pit stop, or the one green flag pit stop, I should say, as we'll go back to our main broadcast cam. Looks like Higginbotham's coming up on lap traffic, though. So
that might be a concern, especially if they're packed together. Let's see if we can get another angle there. There's quite a couple cars. It's like
there
5 of them there. Even Dan Cudmore there as well.
Jason Butler in that mix.
Yeah. Founder and owner of the series Riggs Race.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really fault the guy. He's kind of carried the series from a content perspective and kind of put the series on his back, and unfortunately may or may not have put his back out. We cannot confirm or deny. But we certainly can confirm that Ty Higginbotham's just kind of slicing his way.
Corbin's? Oh, there's a car around in the back.
That
Turn
was Trent
2.
Nielsen
2
in the
cars
back.
around.
Saw Nielsen in the 55. 10 to go here, we're being told. Battle now between Knickel and McCauley for second.
And Darcy Ford is back there in fourth, trying to. He might be able to capitalize on maybe a little bit of close racing between Knickel and McCauley.
Yeah, that's 3 Maritimers together, with Knickel being from Nova Scotia. So 2 through 4, that's Nova Scotia, PEI. So not a bad little showing from our little part of the world
here. And McCauley to second.
Indeed he is. And Knickel trying to find a way through on the high side. It looks like McCauley's going to hold on to the position here, though.
I heard a whoa there.
I did too, and I'm not sure if that was somebody getting loose or maybe the leader just trying to navigate through that lap traffic that we saw.
If that was Higginbottom reacting to the lap cars, that could be interesting.
Well, let's skip up to the 97 here once again, and indeed he's right in the middle of that pack.
Well, that's the thing. McCauley still has to catch up and get through that himself, so it's probably unlikely. It's probably unlikely that he's going to catch up, but maybe things change. Maybe.
Yeah, I think if Higginbotham gets past Hurdle, as it looks like he's doing right about now, looks like that could be crisis averted here for the 97 for the most part. As you correctly noted, about 5 or 6 cars now separating Higginbotham from second place. I believe it's still Corbin McCauley.
Yes, it is. He's getting away from Knickel, so it seems to be kind of an equal distance between each of the top 3 cars.
And so for all the chatter from the first 2 stages, as I just realized that I forgot to change the overlays. So
5 laps to go, we are hearing.
Well, let's get one more run through the overlays before we get to the white flag at least. as Higginbotham is, again, just kind of running away from the field here now. And as I was going to say, for all the close racing that we had in stages 1 and 2, stage 3, you've really seen some separation as we're down to 4 laps to go.
Well, that's just what comes with green flag pit stops in the pit window. It's whoever's able to capitalize the most, and I kind of personally had a feeling that there was a likely chance that someone was going to come out with the best, decisions and stuff. So it appears Higginbotham is about to be on his way to the checkered flag with what appears to be his...
3 to go, we're being told.
On strategy, yeah.
And looks like Higginbotham just coming up on a little bit more lap traffic in the form of, that's Brandon Reed on the high side, and not sure who that is on the bottom. Maybe Janikowski. I think it is in the 93, but we'll stay with Higginbotham here the rest of the way as you see the gap continuing to open up, so that's 2 to go. So Ty Higginbotham, he'll see the white flag next time around, and if Higginbotham's able to hold on, that's all 3 Tornado Alley drivers picking up wins one by one. So we're kind of seeing how this is playing out here as the 97 looking awfully good. He's seeing the white flag right about now. So we're on the final lap of tonight's Fix Auto Charlottetown 100. Ty Higginbotham out of Kansas City, Missouri, keeping things clean. And again, not really seeing a whole lot of battling. Oh, that could have been scary there.
Oh, that was
Nielsen, I think, getting kind of squirrely there on the back stretch.
Yeah, Ty Higginbotham comes off turn 4. He will score his first win of the season at Iowa, and that clinches him a playoff spot.
Yeah, 3 wins last year. First win of this season for the number 97 of Ty Higginbotham, the Tornado Alley e-racing driver out of Kansas City, Missouri. Took stage 2 as well.